gorgeous soul. How are you doing today? In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you how to let go of that feeling of not being good enough. Now, if you are anything like me, maybe you've had this experience or a time in your life, or it's something you're going through right now where you feel like you're not good enough, like, oh, I'm not good enough. And most of the times you want to understand that the reason why you feel like you're not good enough is not actually because you're not good enough. Now, there are two reasons why you feel like you're not good enough. One, it is because you are aligning yourself to the wrong people. You see, you will never be good enough for the wrong people. It's not about you being enough or not, because you are always enough and you were born enough. It's about you being aligned to the people who see your value and who know your worth. If you align to the wrong people, you will never be good enough for them. Not because you're actually not good enough, but because you're not good enough for them. So alignment is very important. It's very important for you to understand that maybe in a job, in a relationship or whatever, something happened, or in an environment, you feel like you're not good enough. Maybe it's not you that is not good enough. Maybe it's the environment that is not good enough. Now, the second thing is that when each time you feel like you're not good enough, it's actually rooted deeper than you just feeling that, oh, I'm not good enough. It's something deeper than what you think, deeper than what you feel, and deeper than what you imagine. And that thing is rooted in your childhood. When you were growing up, something happened. Something that happened that made you feel like you were not good enough. So that is it. It's not because you're actually not good enough, because you're always good enough and you will always be good enough. But here's the catch. You will never be good enough for the wrong people. So positioning yourself right is important. Position yourself to the right people. Align yourself with the right people. Get in the right relationships. And avoid relationships where you feel that you're not enough. And here's the thing, catch on this. It's not like in general, you should avoid this relationship, but at times it's actually a reflection, because the environment might also be good enough, but you, because of your past trauma and pain and the things that you've been through, you just feel like, oh, I'm not good enough for this. This is too good for me. This is too good for it to be true. This is not for me. But is it true that this is not really for you, or is just your mind? Or it's just that thing that is in your head letting you know that, hey, you're not good enough. You have to settle. You are not this, you're not that. Because though that voice might be right, that the voice is not always right. It's not always right because that voice that is singing louder and louder in your head is simply singing louder because of what you went through and what you experienced. How you were told what you did wasn't good enough, anything you did wasn't good enough, and your mistakes, you were judged, guilt, shame, beaten, and bullied for it. As a result, now, anything that tried to want to reflect that, you just feel like I'm not good enough. But I want you to know today that you're always enough and you will always be good enough. It has never been a matter of your worth. It has never been a conversation of judging your worth. It's never been a thing of asking yourself, oh, am I good enough for this or that? It has always been the question of what you've been through and the people that you're aligning yourself with. But one thing I want you to know is that regardless of the things that you've been through, you can change that. You can decide that I went through this. I was told this when I was growing up, but I'm not going to let that judge me. I'm not going to let that define me. I'm not going to let that determine what I can be, do, or have. I am going to rise and I'm going to take my place and I'm going to decide I'm going to do the work and do the inner work that it takes to feel the most confident version of myself. And that part of you, that side of you, that is actually like, oh, I'm going to do what it takes. That is the part of you. That is the real you. And I tell you, when you decide, and once you decide that I am going to do this work, I am going to do what it takes to stop feeling like shit, because I know I'm better than this. I know I'm good enough. I don't just know why this voice in my head keeps telling me I'm not good enough. I know I'm good enough. When you decide to do the work and actually heal, let go of the pain, release the trauma that is stuck in your body, and fully free yourself, you being good enough is never going to be, again, a matter of, are the people right? Did I go through this or that? You being good enough is always going to be a factor of who you really are on the inside. And you're always going to feel good enough because you're innately enough. Your worth has never been measured. Your worth has never, ever been judged, calculated, thought about. You simply decided that you were not good enough. And you can also decide that you are good enough. Now you may be like, oh, I don't know why I'm feeling this. It's just something in my head, a voice that is telling me that I'm good enough. But even that voice, you decided it. You see, something happened to you when you were, something negative happened. And in that high emotional state, which is what we call trauma, in that high emotional state, you decided some things about yourself in order to keep yourself safe and to make sure that that thing that happened and that emotion that you felt, you never feel it again in future. Maybe, for example, you were bullied for your skin color or whatever, your hair or anything. And in that moment, you felt pain. And because you felt that pain, your brain doesn't like you feeling pain or anything hurtful because your brain sees that as danger. And because there was this pain that rose up in your body, it was so uncomfortable that your brain had to decide. You had to decide certain beliefs, certain commands, and certain things about yourself, just so that you could stop feeling those emotions, and just so that in future, these commands and these beliefs and these thoughts that you believe about yourself could be used as a shield to stop yourself from ever going through or feeling pain, or stopping yourself from going into anything that is going to awaken that level of pain in you anymore. So my dear, you decided in a high emotional state that you were not good enough. And right now, you can still decide as the adult version of you in a high emotional state that you are right now, that I'm fucking good enough. I am damn good enough. I am the best thing that ever happened into this world. So it's not about changing who you are. It's about turning your liability into asset. What if instead of seeing that skin color that is, you think makes you not good enough, what if you decided to look at it like, this is my advantage? This is the thing that I have that nobody out there has. This is my advantage. What if you decided from today that this is no longer be a liability? My skin, my hair, what I've been through, my shape, my size, all of this is actually my advantage. It's actually my asset and not a liability. Would that change anything? What I bet it will, because finally you will realize that your worth is not dependent on anything physical. It has always been dependent on who you believe you are, and you decided. Your worth was never given to you, and it will never be given to you by anything, by achievements, not achievement, people, things, places. Your worth was decided by you because you were created already worthy. But how much of that worth you accept and you embody and you decide to be hold has always been decided by you. So right now, I'm inviting you to choose different and decide that you're worthy. There's nothing that is going to change your life than the radical decision. Yes, you have some work to do to deconstruct the identity that you've built for yourself all this while. to let go of the pain, the hurt, and the emotion and the limiting belief that you currently hold. But you see, that is the beauty of it, because it's all about growth and evolution. And wherever you are right now, it's not a mistake. It's exactly where you're meant to be in this moment. You just need to learn the lessons you need to learn to grow. Like a plant, a human being is never meant to stay at the same stage. If you remain the same after 5 years, then something is wrong. So these challenges and these thoughts and these beliefs are not here because you're less. They are simply here to reflect part of you that you need to work on. But are you willing to go through the pain and do the work? Because at times doing the inner work is not going to be fun. It's going to take you letting go of all that you believe, deconstructing. It's going to take you learning to watch your thought. It's going to take you learning to release the trapped emotion in your body. It's going to take you leading yourself to take the right actions to go in the direction of your desire. So I just wanted to share that with you today. That is the thought and the conversation. So if you're feeling good enough, not good enough, maybe you're just in the wrong place. Or maybe you just decided at some point in your life that you weren't good enough as a result of trauma. But now as a big adult, you can decide that you're not good enough. And doing the inner work is something I help you with. So if you're ready to begin your journey of inner work, deconstructing, releasing the trapped emotion, and becoming who you truly are at the core and the inside, I'll be happy to be your coach. I'm just one DM away from you. So send me a DM and we'll have a quick conversation. Hope this blessed you. Have a beautiful day. Bye.